stop, drop, and let's do some art. All right, hi, my name is Dee Dee Potter, and I'm with Murfreesboro City Schools, and I teach art at Hobgood Elementary. So today what we're going to do is we're going to draw a basic bird, and when we're drawing this basic bird, I always start out and tell my children exactly what we're going to be doing, so nothing is overwhelming. So some of the things we're going to be using today for this project are a circle. We may be using a big one and a small one. We're going to be using an S. We're going to be using a J. We're going to be using a U, a W. We're going to also be using a number 11. And I think that's about all that we're going to be using today. So nothing there is very difficult. So let's go ahead and get your piece of paper started. Put it right there. And to start off with, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a circle. Yours could be bigger or smaller. We're going to do it in the top half of our paper. In that circle, we're going to add a smaller one, so now it kind of looks like a donut. We're going to add a smaller circle there and one at the bottom, and this gives us his eyeball. I'm going to color that one in. You can draw it for now and color it back in later, or you can draw it in with me now. The next one that we're going to do is we're going to use the letter S, okay? So we're going to start above the eyeball, we're going to come down, and we're going to come over. And there's our S, okay? And then I told you we're going to do a J, so we're going to pick back up where the S started. We're going to come around, and we're going to close our J off right at the end to create his tail. So now it kind of looks like a little paisley. Nothing really difficult yet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add our W. Actually, we're going to add a triangle to start off with, or a V. We can add a line with that, but you could do lots of different ways to make his beak. You could make a really large one. You could do a small one. You could have his beak open. All right, now then, let's do a wing on him. So we're going to mimic and do another S and J just like we did here. So let's start about here. And here is our S. Then we're going to come down and add a J, just like that. All right, now then, we're going to separate his head from his body so that it looks something like that. And then let's add legs to it because he's got to stand on something. And we're going to start off with the number 11, okay? I always tell my kids you can't have a string because they can't support themselves on strings. So let's add another one and another one, okay? So now we have his legs. Let's add W, but we're going to add one more part to it so that it comes with his feet. So we have something that looks like that. All right, now then, let's give him a ground to stand on because we don't want him floating. And let's add some details. Details are what make your bird your bird. So we can add those details to it to make it look interesting. So let's add some to his tail. So we're going to start off and maybe we'll add another S and J shape to it. How's that? And we could also add some little curly lines to it. A little polka dot there. Now then, maybe he has one on the top of his head, a little crown. All right, so that gives him a little something there. So let's talk about details. What could we add to this bird to make it a little bit more interesting? So we could add some decorations to his neck. We could add some different types of lines to his body, his wing right there. And then we could add in some lines with it. And the things that you choose to do or not to do, make it your bird. You could make it super interesting, or you could leave it very plain. You can use Sharpies on these. You could use Crayolas. You could use lots of different things. You know, my favorite to use is Prismacolors. All right, so we added some grass to it. So let's look at a couple of examples to this and see what these kind of look like. So in pencil, this is before we've added our colors and before we've added our Sharpies to it. So you can come back in, you could add eyelashes, you could add different lines and different shapes within it to give you some greater detail. You could add flowers to it and give yourself like a spring chick, because flowers are blooming now, so you could add flowers to it. You could go super detailed with this and add lots of different types of lines and shapes in it. And you could keep it very simple and paint it in. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this. You can find more lessons like this, including reading, math, science, at cityschools.net. Just hit the Home to School tab. We also have a Facebook page where you can send pictures of your owl and what it looks like, or your bird and what it looks like. I would love to see those. Thank you.